everybody, welcome to Dark Souls Part 12. Be very, very quiet, because I didn't kill the monsters outside, and if I make too much noise, then I'll have to rush and maybe, like, do some things with the Blacksmith Giant here, because he won't get up out of his stool. And I've got to get this chest right here that I forgot about the last time. Give me that chest. Give me my Soul of a Proud Knight, I'm sure that's what it is. Soul of a... Oh, it just keeps getting better, this randomization mod playthrough. Why did I start doing this again? It's fine, whatever. Alright, mission complete. Wow. By the way, I figured out why exactly... Remember, like in prior parts, I was complaining about my R1 button doesn't seem to want to work sometimes. It turns out the reason why is because it's like a tooth that's about to come out. It's actually coming out of the controller. And I'm not sure exactly how to fix that. But it does still work. It just sometimes wants to wobble and just pop out of the controller. And this Xbox Elite controller keeps getting better and better too. I thought I'll get this so I won't ever have to worry about controller problems ever again. Yeah, that worked out great. Okay, anyways. But yes, we got a bunch of new stuff. Freela's looking nice and pretty in her new armor. Everything's going good. On the docket today, though, is we have to get into... No, first we have to place the fucking Lordvessel. And you guys voted. Although you didn't really vote so much as just a whole bunch of you started screaming in, like, the comment section. But you do that every time, so it doesn't matter. I think that most of you screamed to have Freela set herself on fire. Because I guess her being on fire is appropriate. Correct? Yes. So, Freelit is going to be a fire lady one way or the other. So, I'm going to go talk to Fram, since in the prior playthrough, the better playthrough... Oh yeah, he looks amazing. In the prior playthrough, I picked the dark one. So, obviously in this one, I should pick the one that's not dark. Correct? Yes. Okay, first... I knew it! Fucking knew it! Little shitheads. They just can't resist. Is there another one? Come on. If you're out there, let me know, or I'm gonna be angry, and I'll have to kill you. But probably in a more hilarious way for you. Whatever, okay. Anyways, wake up, you stupid... Whatever I can... No. You actually have to hit him.
No.
What if he gets kicking, but no, you actually have to deal damage.
Well and wide awake.
Like a little withering snake. Alright. For... God damn it. I really wanted to push him off. I did, but now I'm gonna, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go get another one. I'm gonna drag him over here and I'm gonna push him off. No, fuck it. I'm angry now. I want vengeance, and we're gonna get vengeance. Freeland want vengeance. And Snoo, but primarily vengeance. Okay, one of you guys come over here. One of you is going in this hole. Appropriately, too. Like, I'm not gonna kill you and then you're gonna fall in. You're going in this hole. This is off to a great start. I actually had to restart it once already, because that's whenever I realized that my controller wasn't working correctly. Alright, come on. What do you think of this, Ramped? What are you doing? Are you really going to kick that guy into this pit? Yes, I'm going to do that. Alright, come here. Aw, man. You're set now, aren't you? You're so good at this. Oh, look at that. Vengeance complete. I'm the greatest. Okay. Oh yeah, I've never talked to you.
Was it you who rang the bell of awakening? I am the primordial serpent, King Seeker Framt.
Queen Seeker.
Friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the bell of awakening. I wish to...
Yeah, I'm sure he was really close friends with Gwen.
And the very reason your
they seem like they would get along real great.
Chosen undead, your fate is to succeed.
This isn't really a lie, exactly.
So that you may link the fire, cast away the dark,
and
undo the curse of the
These are all
undead.
true things.
Now, let us take that vessel on a journey. I assume that you are ready. Now... be still.
Don't stop believing. We're going on a journey in my mouth. He's so veiny. Especially with the phantom thing going on. What a creep. Okay. I'll get over my notes and stuff here in a bit, but first, let's watch Frampton. Oh, he's no longer a phantom. Bleh. Bleh. But he'll be a phantom here in a second, probably. You always gotta be grind. That's not good for you, man. Don't grind your teeth. Okay. Wow, that's weird. He's a little bit different. Either the lighting's very different, or that's actually technically a completely different model. And it might actually be a completely different model. I don't know. It's super weird. Interesting, but, you know, doesn't matter. Okay. Some people suggested just place a Lordvessel on your own, which you can do if you didn't know. Who the hell's watching this that doesn't know that? You can actually walk up and place the Lordvessel without talking to either one of them. But that just makes both of them angry. So, why would you ever do that? This ensures that you can't get anything from either one of them. And it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. We got Lordvessel placed. Now Kath is going to be really angry. You would think that Kath would be understanding. Well, you didn't know all the stuff that you didn't know all the stuff that I was going to tell you. So you would think that he would at least give you the information. Because it doesn't matter who helped you place the Lordvessel. I mean, you're going to get down there either way. What a bunch of fucking babies these serpents are. No, I wanted to be the one that was there that got to see the thing. It doesn't matter, you fucking children. Whether I placed it, or you watched me, or someone didn't know, it doesn't matter. I'm not aligning myself with anyone until the very end. Both of you want the same damn thing. You both want me to kill Gwen, and then for me to either light myself on fire, or just leave. So maybe you should be talking to me then, or slightly before then, rather than wasting my time now. Whatever. Okay, let's see. Now let's go ahead and take care of this. Because I do need to get started in the Duke's Archives.
Sorry, fool.
What?
You could not
Oh,
be
for
the
fuck's
chosen
sake, you
one.
idiot.
Enough. I shall slumber until I am awakened.
So I think he's angry that he brought me here, and I placed the vessel before he told me to place the vessel. So even though... Alright. So even though you actually see... Even though you actually see the fucking thing happen. Even though he sees it happen, he's like, no, you didn't place it the right way. I needed to tell you to place it the right way. Watch this. And he's still angry.
Sorry, fool. You could not be
No,
the
it's impossible.
chosen one. Enough. I shall
At least we get to see this.
until I am awakened.
I give up. I'm going to sleep. Wow, what an amazing exit. You know what? Let's do this. I know the perfect solution to this problem. I know the absolutely perfect solution to this problem. It is 100% perfect. Nothing's gonna go wrong. It's all on camera. Everything is truly amazing. Life is amazing. Nothing could go wrong. Look at that! We're back here. It's almost as though it never happened. Amazing. Wonder what's in the chest, guys. This is like every part that I've recorded, all of them. Like, something always happens. It's just this one I was particularly lazy, so you guys get to see it. You guys get to see it. Not that I'm constantly working. It's more like something goes wrong. Like I remember, oh yeah, there's this thing that I forgot to do. Or I notice, oh, my notes aren't open. So I'll just have to restart that way. And that's what's actually going on. You know what? I'm gonna have to kick that guy in that hole again. I have to. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. Frampt made this happen. This is what's going on now. Actually, hold on. Let's just go ahead and prepare. There we go. One of them can go off the cliff here. How about that? We'll compromise. We'll compromise. I am an amicable leader. No. You go off this one. I don't know. By the way, this is probably my favorite shield in the game. Which, if you've seen the prior playthrough, you guys should know this already. It's my favorite one because, as I was talking about last time, there's a stat called stability in the game. And that's really what matters more so than whether it's a great shield or not. I would honestly say that there's two main stats to a shield, and one is its physical resistance rating, and in Dark Souls 1 it's pretty easy to find something that has good physical resistance. And a stability rating is basically how much of a hit... It's like that. Like, if it has a very high stability rating, if something hits you, it can actually cause it to rebound off. Which just... And it also makes it so that you don't take as much of a hit on your stamina. Which I will be talking about later, actually. So maybe this could have been a good lead-in. But fuck that. Mission complete. Alright.
No, I'm fine.
Now let's see if we can do this again.
Well,
From
Don't treat me like an old withering snake.
Dude, I did the thing right in front of you, and you still weren't happy. He is so much more red right now. It is crazy.
Hello.
He's mostly black. That's how red he is. He became black from all the redness. Something about this has got to be racist.
Close friend of the great Lord Wind.
Okay, well, we've heard all this before. You're a dumb old withering snake, we know. Come on. He really does look like a big penis. He just does. Or she does. And it's so weird how their body... Like, even on a snake, you can kind of tell that it has internal shit going on. Like, well, there's where the rib cage is, because that's where it's widest, and blah, 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 blah. But with these things, they kind of just go. Like, hold on, let me walk over here. Well, I better not. Well, yeah, I'll do that. But they just kind of go. Look at it. Like, it's just gross. And there's, like, this weird texture going on with them. Like they're made of tree bark, you know, in a way. I don't know, it's fucking weird. You guys are weird. And silly, too. Okay, so this time, tell me that I need to do it.
Is it something urgent?
Oh, this is good. Whatever's happening, I like it. Oh, yeah, this is great. I can tell. Okay. What combination of factors could actually be creating this? Tell you what. Do this, because this is fun too. This is part of the adventure of trying to mod Dark Souls 1. Because you can't do it, it's not good. Now where is he this time? He's just not here. He's not fucking here. And I can't leave now, as a result. Freeland, you've just gotten yourself into one adventure after the other, haven't you? Oh, it just keeps getting better. Keeps getting better for old Freeland. Okay, maybe I should just actually go into my fucking notes, since this is obviously going to prove to be an adventure in and of itself. Okay, first things first, we got the blacksmith thing. This is one thing I did forget. Some people commented on that I forgot the mimics. I don't think I did. I didn't kill them. But I'm pretty sure that I used Lord's talismans on them. But either way, I can't remember, and I don't care right now, so we're just not going to. One way or the other. I may have even killed them, I don't even remember. I don't remember most of the things that go on in my life anymore. Other note is, someone pointed out Anastasia... Well, Anastasia is called Anastasia of Estora, like even in the peripheral material and whatnot. And someone was correcting me because apparently I said that she was from Adelondo, which I don't remember doing, but I barely even remember talking about her in the first place. Come on, I know you're out there. I know what you're gonna do. Well, whatever, who fucking cares. So I barely even remember even talking about it, but really? How? How?
I am pleased.
Take me. Take me. Eat
well,
me.
Then
Before the zombies
stay
come.
still for a moment.
You're like, oh, you barely almost got me, zombies. Not quite. I'm safe now. Inside the warm confines of this phantom Gravelord, ancient zombie dragon lord Snakemouth. Can't get me now. Alright, let's see what adventures await us now. But anyways, yeah, Anastasia isn't from Adelondo. She is canonically from Estora. But the thing about it, I was trying to remember what I said. And in my head, I remember talking about the fact that it just doesn't make a lot of sense that she would be from Astora. Not that I said that she was from Anorlando or whatever. But like I said, I can barely remember anything that I even say. So, before we do that, let me just get it out. So my main point was just that it was weird that she would be from not here, because like I was talking about, how do they even get here? Like, there's plenty of people that show up that are from human settlements outside of that realm. You get here because of Velka's Raven, and because that's where it was nesting in the Undead Asylum. So how the hell does everyone else get here? Because there's no other path that we know of where they can actually do that. But whatever, you know, is the main point of that was just pointing out it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But don't worry about it. As far as the writing goes, it probably would have made more sense had she been from Ulasil or not really Anorlando. I really don't remember saying that, but people in the comments certainly can't be wrong. No one's ever been wrong in the comments section. It would have made more sense if she'd been from Ulasil or New Lando, I think is what they mean. But for some... I wrote it down, they said Anorlando. But no, they can't be wrong. But it would have made more sense if she'd been from New Lando or Ulasil. But anyways, if I said something... I don't remember saying anything incorrect, but like I said, I don't remember. I don't remember anything. Especially since I've been through some, like, medical stuff recently, so now everything in the past week has just kind of been a blur of me, like, sleeping and waking up and being confused and paying thousands of dollars in medical things. Because America. America! Alright, what do you got to say? Please don't warp through the ground. Oh, boy. So, it looks like Freeland might be fated here.
Chosen undead.
Yeah, you do.
I remain here and await thee.
Yeah. Okay, I do have one idea. I have a single idea. Oh, you bet it is, buddy. Let's go. Are you not going to do it? Wow, hold on. Check this out. What? What's going on? What's happening? Okay, take me out of here. Very well, never mind. Alright. Let's do this again. I really need the rest at this bonfire next time. Let's do this again. Here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna do like a little emergency thing where I start turning off mods that I think might be involved in Fram's insanity. And if that doesn't work, then Freela just won't agree to anything. Even after I got through ridiculing the idea of placing the Lordvessel with... Have you ever seen a dog be confused? I, like, actually tilted my head, like, what? Okay. So we're just trapped here. Wow. Man, this keeps getting... I love everything that... Okay, hold on. Let's turn off the Gravelord mod, because that's probably the only thing I can really think of that would be involved in this at all. You guys go away. No. No. No, reset. Reset, gentle sirs. Okay. Up we go. This may have fixed something. Or it made it far worse. Wake up, stupid.
No.
Oh God, here they come.
Well,
they ache for me to be poked into this pit.
Treat me like an old withering
Yes, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up already. Oh, here they come. Yes, warp me. Warp me, you dumb snake. Yes. Yes. Bite my succulent female flesh. Alright, yes, we've all seen it. I'm kind of curious just to let it go, because I just want to see if I somehow get spat out to Blighttown or something. Okay, are you gonna freak out? Don't freak out, okay? Everything's good. Just let me grab hold of your testicle head, and everything will be okay. Do not warp through the ground. For fuck's sake. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Tell you what.
Is it something?
Yes.
Then stay still for a moment.
Okay. great. Okay. One last try at this. This makes about as much sense as the actual canon way of trying to get these assholes to actually be on your side. Oh, good! It just stopped working entirely. It's just stopped working entirely. I guess I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I guess I'll learn my lesson. I'm not sure what exactly that lesson is, but I guess I learned it. Whenever I loaded... First time I tried to reload the game, it just crashed again, which is a great sign that things are going great. But this time, it loaded me into, like, Firelink, and then immediately went into, like, 3 different cutscenes, and then he started talking to me about how this is the place where I should be. So let's see what awaits us now.
What is it?
Oh, now it's okay?
The Lordvessel on the altar.
So I guess...
No reason for pause.
No, none. None. You're right. What was I thinking? Frieda, what were you thinking, pausing, giving, Paul? No reason for pause at this moment. Nothing's going crazy now. Okay. Are you sure you're fine with this? Like, everything's cool, right? You're not gonna, like, warp through the ground and rocket through my body and plow through these doors and suddenly it's the end game, right? Everything is cool? Alright. Alright. Okay. Yes. Alright. You sorry fool. How dare you place the Lordvessel where I told you to place it? I guess I just had to restart the game and then let it crash itself and then restart it again. Obviously that is the correct solution to modding Dark Souls 1. Man, but look at that texture though. I sure am glad I had that texture mod for Dark Souls 1. It's worth it. I should make it 60 frames per second while we're at it. Nothing could go wrong. Let's just watch this cutscene again for the like 3rd or whatever time. The 5th time. The fog walls are disappearing, who knew it? Okay. So, today I don't have too many notes to worry about. There is one main thing that I want to talk about, and it's basically just rolling versus blocking. It's the main thing. I was thinking this will be a short episode today. This will be a short one. And I'll get halfway through the Duke's archives and everything will be okay. You sorry fool. Alright. Okay, you're okay with this, right?
Very well. As King Seath,
Ah.
I shall now instruct you, the Lord's successor, in your next task. To achieve your fate, fill the vessel with powerful souls, commensurate to the great soul of Gwyn. Scarce few possess such brilliant souls. Gravelord Nito, the Witch of Izalith, the 4 kings of New Londo, who inherited the shards of Gwyn's soul, and Lord Gwyn's
This is making me
former
think about a few
confidant,
things.
Seath, the Scaleless. All of their souls are required to satiate the Lordvessel. ... Are you ready? Then we shall return. Stay still for a moment.
This does make me wonder, was he's explaining these things? You would think that your character would say something tantamount to, wait. The only way for me to get in is to kill the 4 lord... Like, you would think that... Like, I understand not every single character that you make is going to be good or evil or whatever, but you would think that that would be something that would give you pause and make you say, wait, did they agree to this? Aren't I, at this point, just committing murders? Because you could make an argument for the Witch of Izalith. Because the Witch of Izalith turned into a demon, and it was already proven that she's very dangerous at this state, because she's no longer herself. Whether her daughters are on her side or not, who knows, because one of them's guarding her, and the other ones are spiders, and they might have already been crazy. Who knows? That's an adventure. But Nito hasn't really done anything to warrant you trying to murder Nito. The 4 kings, you can sort of understand, but you don't, like, your character shouldn't really know anything about them. So, him saying, go kill the 4 kings, scratch my asshole. You would think, why I gotta scratch your asshole? Why are you telling me that? And then you would think, what about the 4 kings? Who's that? Why do I have to murder 4 kings of this place I've never heard of? Just, there's a lot of him telling you what to do, and your character not saying anything, of course, makes sense, but him not actually addressing that. Of, it's okay, they're total assholes, or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, because when people go, like even me, go through and analyze, oh, the lore of this in Dark Souls 1, but when it comes down to it, it's just a fucking video game. And there's a lot of things about that in Dark Souls 1 where it's just a fucking video game. Just don't worry about it. Okay, so that's placed, in theory.
I am pleased to see you well. Is it something...
Every single time that he says something now, I expect him to just explode off into space. It is pleased to see you, Origin! And it just rockets off to, like, the moon. But yet somehow, like, his body is still there, sticking through the hole, and it just seems to be indefinitely long. Don't ask me what's down there.
Farewell, chosen undead. I remain here and await thee.
My big pulsy nose. It's so weird that his nose moves like that. Don't ask me what's down there. Because it just kind of keeps going, doesn't it? And even... the fact that he hangs from the ceiling. The fact that he hangs from the ceiling, I don't know if that actually implies anything, but... it would seem that he at least, whatever his fulcrum is, it apparently is in between those two spots. So good luck trying to make sense of that. Apparently he is not as far, he isn't as far down as, like Ash Lake. Like the furthest you can go. Actually, Ash Lake might be a little bit further up from that area. I know the original, you're supposed to push that thing over, or, you know, Andre was, and you're supposed to go down steps, and that's the reason why there's, like, steps leading up in the background, if you didn't know that. So you're supposed to walk down, but, I don't know, I kind of get the impression that because the kiln, like, the kiln is supposed to be, like, the first thing that anyone ever found, right? Because that's where the first flame was. And the whole idea with the kiln, supposedly, you can look at it this way, is that the kiln is just what was constructed around the first flame. So that was where everything started, like all of history started. That's where all of history started. I'll see you later. So if that's where all of history started, then you would think that Ash Lake would probably be a little bit above that if the Dreglings. If the Dreglings were trying to seize the upper world from the dragons or something. Who knows? Okay, let's turn back on our mods that will crash the game. Let's do that. Because we need that. We need to make oh, come on. We need to make sure that we can't enjoy the game too much. Yes, disable everything. Everything's bad. You go ahead. Actually trying to do all this at the same time. Some of you in the comments are like, you don't even need to do that. Like, no, I don't, but we really want the game to crash. Like, that's completely necessary, right? Right. That's a good point, Plague. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to go through the process of trying to clear these assholes out all over again. So that's gonna be fun. As long as we don't aggro them, we should be alright. So, let's very slowly do that over a period of, like, 9 months. Gotta give it time to gestate. Make sure this shit baby actually comes out right. Okay. But today, you guys didn't really talk too much about anything in the comments that requires a bunch of information. I think we covered that fucking mimic shit for like the past 5 or 6 different episodes or something crazy. No, don't do that. You come over here. And you guys keep going on about it, which is getting, like I said, I've covered about as much of it as I want to cover. For God's sakes. Because a lot of you guys are kind of just rehashing things that I've already talked about. And you can tell the people that don't actually pay that much attention, because they'll say things like, why don't we just randomize mimics, which is something that I talked about in the prior part and the part before that. So, I can tell I've gotten to the point where people are just not paying attention and they're just kind of just rattling off ideas. Oh, come on. So, at this point, we're kind of just going in circles, where I'm saying, no, I talked about that last time, and you guys didn't pay any attention. And then I'll explain it all again, and then once I explained it all again, then someone in the comments, I'm sure, will not pay attention to that and say, well, what if we just randomize mimics? I'm like, no, we've been over this 5 times in a row, so it's stopping here. No more mimic talk. I've already been over it. I'm sure, well, what was his stance on mimics? No one tell them in the comments. No one tell anyone. Because it'll just go back to that shell over again. It's amazing, though, the amount of people that are just like, well, fuck it, who cares? Just keep them. And there's no real counter-arguments. The only real counter-argument that I've really seen to the idea is just the idea of people saying, well, I just like them as enemies. I just like the way they look. So just keep them just because of that. And that's it. I don't care if they work or not, because I know that the mimic is there. I will never be surprised. I completely agree that it's a system that, for its intended role in the lore or whatever, it does not work and it can never work. I completely agree. But I just want mimics anyways because I just like mimics. So, you know, whatever. If you desperately want to look at a mimic and then kill a mimic and have it go, rawr, there you go. That's your solution. Just have them anyways. They're just there for flavor. Even though it doesn't really make any sense and they're not effective enemies one way or the other. I can accept that. I don't particularly like it, but I can accept it. But whatever. Mimic talk, now dead. So about mimics, nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's get rid of this guy. The main thing I want to talk about this episode is going to be shields, rolling, general game design in regards to that. Okay. And I want to talk about that mainly because we're getting into that problem again of commenters kind of repeating themselves and repeating things that I've already addressed. Which is, we're never going to get past that, but in this case, it's something that I feel like I mentioned like in one of the first very parts, like 2 or like maybe even the first part, I don't know. But I've seen some people making comments like, rolling is for skilled players. Shields are if you're a dumb pussy. That sort of thing, just typical Dark Souls community shit. And I know I've been over this like a million times, but sometimes, you know, people either don't pay attention or they didn't see those parts or whatever, so we may as well go over it. But the whole... And some people, of course, are going to say, well, there is no issue. Just Dark Souls is Dark Souls. Deal with it. And there's always going to be those people, but as I've said in prior parts... really? Their shields are way too effective. Speaking of that. But as I said in the prior parts, everything is worth analyzing. Even a system that is working well, which shields and dodging, in my opinion, are not working particularly well. They're fine, in a way, but they don't work particularly great. That everything is worth analyzing because everything can be improved. And even if something is potentially perfect, that doesn't mean that you can't evaluate it and see what other options that you have. And a lot of people just really... What how... You're not supposed to... Can I actually bring him out? Oh, he won't go through the loading zone. Alright, idiot. If you're going to be aggressive, I'll use the loading zone against you. I thought this was going to be more difficult. But now he's just stupid. Well, that's what you get for being over-aggressive. Because I made you, because I'm using a mod. But yeah, some people are not like that. They just... I don't know. I guess some people just don't think as designers. They think as consumers. Remember when I was talking about... Like Oscar of Astora, for example. Hold on. Whenever I was talking about Oscar of Astora, I was pointing out the game is actually better for getting rid of his little storyline. Because it actually subtracts from the game in many ways. But some people just, they want content. They don't actually care if it works better to not have things. The concept of adding by reducing does not make sense. Does not make sense to a lot of people. They just want things to want them. And if they don't have them, then they want them anyways. So I guess some people just can't think in terms of design that way. Of this system actually is working fine. Another one of these stupid things. The system is actually working fine, but maybe we should look at it anyways to see if we can improve it or change it or make something new out of it. They just don't have that inside of them, I guess. Some people are like that. So if you find yourself, you know, screaming at the screen, there's nothing wrong with rolling, there's nothing wrong with shields, shut up, deal with it. If you're like one of those kind of people, tough luck, I guess. Like, this is gonna happen, we're gonna be talking, because that's how I am. I think about things. That's just how it do. So today's topic, of course, rolling and shields. This has always been sort of a minor point of contention with people. We've seen how it evolved within the series. Because in Dark Souls 1, you can just walk around with a shield like this. These guys have a lot of defense. Oh, they also... Yeah, that's right. Don't you do that. Die. So, oh, right, because of the aggression mod. I'm so used to... Ow! Holy shit! It did a shit ton of damage. I was trying to get into a position where I could heal, but whatever. But we see how everything is kind of evolved. You can walk around with a shield like this, and in extreme cases... I might be able to show that off here. But there are extreme cases where you can actually get overwhelmed, and since you kind of get frozen in place whenever an enemy hits your shield, maybe the original intent was you can get overwhelmed and just have enemies basically stun lock your shield down to the point where you can't do anything. And that's the balancing factor? I don't know, but in Dark Souls 1, shields are a bit of a problem, because you can use something like a Great Shield and just trivialize absolutely everything. Like, there's absolutely nothing in the game at that point that's really going to deal much of any actual damage. Would you stop? Poise whore. Not even wearing any fucking clothes, able to tank through everything. Little loser. Yeah, come on. Let me just kill you through the wall because you're so fucking stupid. Okay, I have to be extra careful because this fucking aggression mod shit. Because the second that I poke my head out, everything that's beyond there is going to be super angry at me. Okay, he's not going to hit me. Let's see what we get if we go here. Doesn't look like anything aside from the sorcerer. So we should be okay for a bit. Where are the other ones? Oh, there's one. Seemed like there was another one, but I'm not sure where exactly he is. But anyways, like, you see how much damage actually... Like, this doesn't really do any stamina damage to me exactly. So, there is a definite minor issue in that enemies can just kind of come up to you and it doesn't really matter. Like, the only thing you really have to do is just lower your shield ever so often. As long as you do that, then you're pretty much safe. But if you just keep your shield up indefinitely, then you see, eventually you are going to run out of stamina. So I guess that was the original idea. They didn't really expect anyone... I guess they did, but I guess that whole idea is just the minor addition of lowering your shield as their balancing idea, or something. I'm not really sure. But as far as comparing shields and rolling goes, I've been over this a whole bunch, but raising your shield, using your shield, like ignoring for a moment the whole whether the stamina drain is enough or whether it's not enough and so forth and so on. Ignoring all those... There he is up there. What are you doing? I'm trying to get him to poke out. I don't want everything to attack me at the same time. But as far as ignoring that goes... Well, now you want to do it. Well, now I can be unfair. May as well attack now. Yeah, now they all want to attack. God! Good lord, that does a shit ton of damage. Knew it. I knew that fucking ray would hit me the second that I poked out of there. Looks like I'm gonna have to be even more careful. But that right there is sort of illustrating the shield thing. But, hold on. Dodging has many different benefits. One is that it renders you invincible. Like you don't necessarily have to dodge an enemy. An enemy can be rushing you and be right in front of your face, and you can actually dodge into them and not move at all. Like because you're rolling into their model, you will stay perfectly in the same exact spot as you were in the first place. So you won't have moved. You don't have to actually relocate yourself. And you give yourself invincibility in the process. And in that process, you don't actually use that much stamina. And you're not losing health in the process either. So you make yourself invincible at the cost of a little bit of stamina that comes back pretty much immediately. So as far as stamina drain goes, there's no real cost. As far as the after effects go, you're invincible unless you actually mess it up. In addition to being invincible, you're able to relocate yourself. Like if there's 3 enemies in front of you, and you know, the best thing for me to do is actually to be on their right, or something of that nature, then you can relocate yourself in addition to actually defending yourself at the same time. There's a lot of benefits to actually just dodging through things. Whereas a shield, you're kind of locked in place in front of the enemy. You don't really get the option of relocating yourself. As you saw there, sometimes if the enemy's attacks are really, really fast, then you can actually end up taking damage anyways if you drop your shield to perform a counterattack. So you can actually get locked into a pattern of doing absolutely nothing except for defending. Now, I'm not saying that shields take more skill than rolling or anything like that. I'm not saying that, obviously. But as far as how all this works as a system right now, those are sort of your drawbacks. There's a great amount of advantages to actually using rolling instead of using your shield. And a lot of people don't actually recognize that. And that, again, is not to say, oh, poor shield user or anything like that. I'm just pointing it out from a design perspective. So if you can actually get used to rolling, which is not too hard, to be honest, if you can get used to doing it, then it's by far the most effective way to actually play the game in most circumstances. There's 1 or 2 little instances that you can point out, like, oh, in this place or that place, it's actually a little bit better to use a shield because you don't have as much movement or whatever. And that's true. Like, one is not always 100% of the time going to be better than the other. Come on, use your fucking ray gun. God. I was trying to get him like 1 hit before I had to move. Alright, come on. Try to get as many hits as I can. No, come on, switch! Switch! Like there, like rolling backwards is actually pretty effective. Because it allows you to relocate so that you can actually counterattack. Whereas if you were using a shield straight up, then you wouldn't get that option, obviously. So, let's see, hold on. Let me actually get rid of these guys first. I wonder how much damage I actually will take this, like, let's see. 1... Yeah, you can really tell that their whole idea was balancing around stamina drain, which did not really work out because of the fact that you can regain it so easily. Which you have to because stamina also works within rolling. Like, you can't screw up stamina regeneration's base because it affects other aspects of gameplay. Which is perfectly understandable. Now, I mentioned in the past how I would sort of fix it, but you kind of saw what happened in the game series. In Dark Souls 1, there was a big problem. In Dark Souls 2, they kind of tried to say, well, there's a big problem, but we're going to, for the most part, completely ignore it. And we are instead going to try to discourage people from using shields at all. And to that end, we're going to do things like make it so that you can't actually get a decent shield until much, much later in the game, because we need to try to encourage players into trying to use rolling, even though in Dark Souls 2 they also had adaptability, which fucked over your rolling. So their internal logic, I don't know, I guess they were just trying really hard to make the game difficult at first or something. the internal logic of the developers of Dark Souls 2 baffles me to this day. Like, lots of things are working against themselves in that game. Really, really, really strange. But you saw in Bloodborne... Oh, for God's sake. Whoa! Lots of damage. I'm not used to actually seeing that guy's attack animation. I'm sure lots... Zero! Yeah, I know. But once you actually get I'm not used to seeing that guy's attack. So, that's the whole balancing idea behind rolling, is that you can't really roll effectively on a first playthrough just because you're not used to seeing things. But once you do, then it becomes fairly trivial. Which you could... That's the reason why people say that it's a skill-based thing. It's not really skill-based so much as it's just memorization, I guess. But for some people, that's not a distinction. But, of course, in Bloodborne, they completely dropped the idea of shields because I guess Miyazaki just kind of gave up on it. He didn't want to deal with it anymore. He probably prefers more action-y games in the first place, that sort of thing. Come closer. Don't want to aggro everything at the same time. Come on. There you go. Who's a little idiot? You're a little idiot. Yeah, there you go. Another little minor advantage with shields, sort of, is that you can get them to release one of their attacks, and especially if you have a high stability shield, they'll rebound off to where you can actually counterattack them. Whereas with a roll, you're kind of just stuck just waiting on them to do something, and they might not do something, maybe they will, you just don't know. Like, there's a minor give and take with all this. Get you through the wall. Ha! So, in Dark Souls 3, you kind of run into that same sort of issue, where they sort of attempted to compromise. So in Dark Souls 3, the shields still, they actually do work effectively, and you can get them very easily early on. But you take such an obscene amount of stamina damage by actually blocking things that really, you miserable fuck, that you can actually get yourself killed just by doing that. Like, you can, like in this game, for example, this enemy will actually hit me instead of, there we go. Like, see how little physical, like, actually, like, stamina damage that actually takes off? I think I would actually lose a little bit more just by rolling, which is next to nothing as it is. I should have kindled that. But in Dark Souls 3, if you actually do that, and you take a hit from most enemies, you might lose half or maybe more, or in some rare cases, your entire stamina bar, as a result of trying to block that one attack. Come on. I know you can hear me. Come over here. We're just going to do it this way. Because the sorcerer back there is the main problem, because he has something that buffs damage, which is actually a huge problem for me, because we're running the Gravelord shit, which increases their damage by 20%. We're running the aggression mod, which increases it by another 20%. If they are actual phantoms, it increases it by yet another 20%. God! Trying to avoid. I knew it! Fucking knew the second that I tried to do that. The very second I tried to do it, I knew that they would just decide to do that. You know what? This time we're just going to face-fuck everything. How about that? But the sorcerer guy also increases their Game crashed again. It increases it by another 20% or something. I don't know. I think that's what I was talking about 10 minutes ago. Let's actually kindle this or something. How about that? Love it whenever you can't even get through their front door or this shit. You see how much damage that thing can do, though. I think even the... Jeez, I wonder how much... Like, if you stack that on top of itself... It might even be more than that, I don't know. But it's gotta be like they're dealing an extra 100% damage in some circumstances, if not more than that. It could be way more, it could be slightly less, I'm not really sure. Either way... Fun adventures for Freeland. Okay, anyways. I have offered up suggestions on how to fix shields in the prior part, I think? It might have been that. But I said that I would probably make it so, and this doesn't apply to everything, like great shields and everything, but it was just a general statement. Which, of course, if I make a general statement, then lots of people get super pedantic and nitpicky in my comment section and start, no, without, like, this is the reason why I talk too much, is because I don't like it when people do that. So I feel the need to over-explain every single element of an idea or a concept, because I know someone's going to be an asshole, because they aren't thinking themselves about solutions. They just want to disagree, and I despise that. So that's the reason why I'm like that, if you ever want. This time, fuck you. This fucking shithead. I'm just gonna face fuck everything. No, stop it. God's sakes. Just use as... See, I don't like playing this way. This... I guess it's intended. But this intended playstyle for heavy armor users of just pile a bunch of armor onto yourself and just use Estus all the time. And that's the reason why Estus sometimes can be kindled up to a 20 in these games. Because that's who it's for. It's for the people that use heavy armor. I despise doing that. I don't want to take hits in heavy armor. I mainly want to use heavy armor just because I like the look of it. Don't you dare use that leaping attack. But I don't like relying on Estus, because I see, like, people complain about this incessantly. About the fact that sometimes, like right now, like I'm not perfectly at 100% health. How come you don't heal? Some people are like that. If they see that they are not at 100... Like, some of you get really crazy about the fact that I'm doing that. Not healing. It triggers you. In my case, it triggers me whenever I see someone doing a playthrough and they do the reverse, where they're wasting Estus. Like, they just have so much of it, they're like, whatever, fuck it. That drives me crazy. Because it's just like they're so much of a fucking pussy. Just the idea of, oh, something might happen. They just need to be at 100% at all times. That drives me crazy. So if you're, how come he doesn't heal to full? That's why. Because I don't like playing that way. Well, you have to. I know you have to in many of these games. Bloodborne's kind of that way. Dark Souls 3 is kind of that way. Where if you are not, like, I guess that's the goal internally. Like, you have to be at 100% as far as the internal game logic goes. And if you're not at 100%, then you're doing something wrong, so you should be punished for it. It's very strange to me. Like I've talked about before, about, I like it whenever the Dark Souls games are a bit more resource-based. I think someone, again, being pedantic in the comment section, was complaining about, oh, you want it to be resource-based, but then you complain if the boss fights are too long. Like, people get angry if I state that something should be a 5 instead of a 1 or a 10. I don't know why the internet is so binary and hyperbolic like that. It's just so strange. But yes, the truth in most matters lies in the middle, but people that don't want to listen to that don't understand that things can be 5s sometimes. It's impossible for things to be a 5. They can only be 1s or 10s. That's crazy. Alright, come on. No, you're coming closer. I know that trick. You're not gonna do it. Yeah, I know you want to do your jumping attack. Come on. There you go. I know you're gonna hit that arrow. Don't care. Okay. See, in this case, I'm not gonna heal, because fuck you. That's what I'm gonna do. Need that Estus for later. That's how I like to play. I like to ration things out a little bit. Please die. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm just listening for this asshole's hits. Okay, this time, I know there's another guy over there that just probably aggroed. And he is not a ranged user, so he's probably going to run all the way around trying to kill me. Yeah, there he is. Oh, now you're going to do it? Oh, fuck, fuck. Oh! 100%? I guess, oh, I should have had that extra 10 health points. Then I would have been fine. Yeah, you can tell he's dealing way too much damage. Like, way more than is actually intended for the game. Anyways, yeah, shields rolling, etc. The truth lies in the middle. I was making a general statement about how I'd fix shields. And this doesn't include all of them, so if you're... Do the one for great shield... Just wait. Wait. Okay, I can't cover everything in a single sentence. But my general statement was that I would probably make it a bit more like parrying in some senses, that you would have to time it a bit more. As in, something leaps towards you, if you hold up the shield, then it doesn't cause stamina drain. Like, for some reason, everyone's solution to shields is always stamina drain for some bizarre reason. And that's what Miyazaki's supposed solution in 3 was, and we saw how that worked. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. It just makes you not want to use shields. That's not how you fix shields. You don't fix shields by fucking them over. You don't fix a system by making it so that people don't want to use it. That's not how you address systems. A system should be something that you actually enjoy using. You don't try to resolve it by making it so that people despise using it. That's not how you do it. But yeah, that was my attempt to fix. No stamina drain really involved in it. Just the idea that if you take a hit while your shield is just being held up indefinitely, then either it would have a little stamina thing, or probably more preferably you might kind of get stunned out of it, or there would be some sort of animation associated with it, or something of that nature. But basically, whatever the downside is to actually have, like, the fail state. The fail state of using the shield would be tied to whatever happens after that, if you hold it up too long. Whereas if you raise your shield at the correct time... Really? Whereas if you raise your shield at the correct time, then you would be rewarded with a full block, a 100% block. There we go. So it'd be sort of like pairing in that sense, although the timing would be far more liberal. And that would probably be more... medium shields, I guess, would probably be more like that. In this case, I will heal. Doesn't even go up to full. I probably have a thing to upgrade my Estus Flask again, though. Yeah. No, maybe I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and get asshole down here first, though. If I can even get through the front door of this goddamn place. Yeah, you see me. Come on. So, yeah, it would be a bit more parry timing-wise. It'd be like that. Maybe if your timing was absolutely perfect, then you actually would get a parry, but like I've hinted at the past, I really don't like parrying itself. So I'd probably actually alter that a little bit as well. Finally broke his poise. I would probably make it a bit more resource-based. Come on already. I'd probably make it a bit more resource-based in terms of, like, maybe a actual parry state is something that you can only get by, I don't know, building up, like, a break over time or something. Maybe it's like a long-term resource that you build up, or it's a fail state that the opponent has to build up so that if they actually have 3 of their attacks blocked, perfect blocked by a shield in a certain space of time, then they will go into a fail state where they can be riposted, that sort of thing. Just, that's my general line of thought, in other words. Like, I'm not actually offering up a definite solution, but that's kind of how I think about things. Okay. But someone in the comments made the comment of, oh, so you just want to make shields rolling. Because that's how rolling generally works. It's a timing-based thing. Am I... Like, it was written in a snarky way, oh, you would do... But yes, that's actually exactly what I want to do. Like, they should both function in similar ways. Making it so that it is timing-based is the correct way of handling it. Whether you agree with that or not. That's what I think. Let's try to... God, let's try to get over here without getting one-shotted by the asshole again. Okay. Here he comes again. Let's see if we can actually... The reason why it one-shot me last time, his weapon, actually has 2 attacks in it at the same time. That is, it kind of does a little spin animation, and you actually take multi-hits from it. So I actually took 2 hits from it last time, if you're wondering. Let me concentrate for a second. I'm getting tired of having to do this front section over and... God, we just die already. In case you don't wonder, the reason why we're going in Sins first is because this is where the Large Ember and the Very Large Ember are located. In this randomization version of the game. So I need to clear out this section first so I have more options in terms of... Get out of the way! So I have more options in terms of what weapons that I can use. The reason why I've been using the Black Knight weapons and so forth and so on is just because of that reason. Okay, is it just those 2? It's kind of hard to tell because the sound of their arrows hitting these shelves is actually kind of fucking me up because I keep thinking they're footsteps. I knew there was that guy down there. Go ahead. You come here. God, does he have to go the long way? Whatever. Come here. Come on. Come on, sweet thing. Oh, your shield is also good. Like, see, he actually has pretty good stability. So as a result of that, my attacks are rebounding. That's what that is. If you did not know. Okay. Gotta be super careful. I don't need that, whatever it is. Great shields would have to work differently from that system that I'm proposing. Great shields would have to work differently. Smaller shields that do not have the benefit of 100% damage reduction, although they might, I don't know, would also have to work differently. But without going into the nitty-gritty of what exactly the numbers would be, oh, this has to be this, or whatever. I wonder if I can get him for that. I don't even know. Oh, there it is. Ha! It actually works. Without going into the nitty-gritty, that's just my general line of thought. Is make shields a bit more timing-based. Don't fuck them up to the point where no one wants to use them. Right here. Just make it so that it's more about how you're using the shield versus the fact that you're using one at all. Which I think is the main error. And I must have hit him and then he teleported out. I'm not sure where he is now, though. It's probably... Yeah, there he is. Okay, there's an... Oh, for God's... Look at that! That's obscene, the amount of damage that does. Okay, there's another one. There he is. Okay. It's amazing how careful this... Like, this does make me kind of play the way that I always play. It's just that the consequences for making a single error, or even sometimes no errors, is basically one-shot death. Like, you just... It's basically the same thing as playing one health point. Like I said, I didn't want to play a challenge run, but this is kind of what it's forcing itself to be. Oh, God. That is what it's becoming. As far as how the... Like, is, for example, making great shields the same way. Great shields are a bit more difficult. It might be... Great shields might be... It takes, like, a moment for you to actually establish the great shield. Like, you actually have to plant it. Because, as I've stated, there's not really any such thing as a great shield in real life, exactly, but there are things that you would use to, like, plug up doorways and shit like that. Really? I fucking hate this. This is why I don't like doing challenge runs, because it just becomes stupid. Like, to me, challenges to me, I don't really find a whole lot of value in them, because usually they just come across to me as just being dumb. Like, they're just pains in the ass. I don't find much value in actually doing them. You stop firing in a stagger. I'm having to listen to asshole over there. Really? Okay, you do that. Do it. There's gonna be another one. Okay, thankfully he's not shooting over that. Really? Oh my god. Ugh, so fucking angry. And I can't get past... No, you can't get past me! You know, I was actually thinking before I got... From across the fucking map. I was actually thinking... And even from up there. I was actually thinking before I even got started, maybe I'll try to show off the Duke skip. But then I thought, well, if I fail it at all, that means I would have to do a complete run back. And I thought, well, maybe it won't be that much of a problem. No, it would be the biggest problem ever. You die already. Die! Okay, now. And of course he gets complete invulnerability whenever he does that. Now where is he this time? I thought he only had the 3 spots that he could go, but... Wait, where did he go? I thought he could only go here. I hear him now. Don't tell me he went all the way up top. You know, I'm so angry I'm just gonna go over here and see if I can visit my friend the Floating Book. I wonder if Floating Book is around here somewhere. I'm pretty sure that there's supposed to be a Floating Book around here. I guess not. I tell you, there's just no satisfaction for me in this playthrough. There's no fun to be had. Floating Book Chan, where are you? Ah, well. That makes me sad. I'm not even really angry anymore, I'm just kind of sad. Disappointing is what it is. Okay. But I guess that would probably be my main solution with the Great Shields, would be... It might have to be more of a thing where you have to plant them down. But point being, again, is... It's important to think about things in terms of what you want their succeed states and what you want their fail states to actually be. Do you... Like, what do you want to punish? What do you want to reward? And why are you trying to punish it? Why are you trying to reward it? Gotta concentrate so I don't get stuck behind this. I had to move over here just to avoid being shot from long range. There we go. Good thing I'm using this stupid halberd. The only reason I'm using the Giant's halberd is because it's the only thing that actually deals... Like, even now my AR is like 522, which is actually a little bit more than it was last episode. But imagine if it was... Like a... I don't know, like... What's something I upgraded recently? Claymore. Imagine the Claymore. It would drop down. I would be doing half the amount of damage because of this large ember bullshit. As well. I think that's close to what the amount that I can actually fully heal right now is. And I can't just run up on this dude. Because this... Holy shit! 2 of the fuckers. Main thing is just aggro this one asshole. I don't remember there being a Chandler there. And he is a different color, so that is a Gravelord, actually. That's what's going on. There we go. Can he even reach this far? I can't really tell. He's kind of stuck right now. He could dislodge himself, who knows. Anyway, sorry. But the main point with all the shield discussion, mainly that I'm trying to get to, is just the idea of just that. You have to know when to punish people and when to reward them. Like, why are you trying to do this? By the way, there's a guy right there, I'm pretty sure. So I can't just run up. Maybe I'll try to take care of him first. Okay. Let's just ignore that for now. Please, thank God. That was the one that had, like, no health left. Okay. One last... Well, not one last, just one last mimic. It is really weird that there are no mimics in the game aside from one in Sins, and all the rest of them are in Anorlando, aside from the DLC. Which the DLC, I kind of get the impression of, well, there's got to be a mimic here, just put it here. It kind of makes me wonder if they were trying to imply something, that it was related to Anorlando. Which I think even the original Japanese... See, you can see the asshole, it's just right there. Even the original Japanese does sort of imply that they used to be divine beings, that they were gods at some point, rather than humans. Although, it's been a while since I've looked into that, so just, if that's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. No! No! Don't you fucking dare. He is... Oh my god. And this one asshole was like creeping along at a snail's pace just to try to bait this one guy into hitting me. No! You fucking die! Get out of here! No, I will take the hit. No! Asshole! What an ass! Go ahead and teleport away. Let's try it. Fucking try it. Oh, God. These guys are the worst in this playthrough. Holy shit, the amount of damage that they deal is obscene. Okay, what is this amazing drop that's waiting for us today? Yeah, this actually is not awful. I get to have 8 moments of fun. Although knowing this game, probably more like 3 or 2. Ugh. Okay. But I would also... This is something I was thinking beforehand. I'm not sure what to do about this guy. I don't have any Lloyds, I don't think, anymore. I'm pretty sure I don't. I didn't buy any. I kind of just stopped caring. Yeah, I don't. So I'll have to kill him one way or the other. Let me just go ahead and get it out of the way. I'll probably somehow die in the process, and then I'll get super angry. Holy shit! Look how much health he has. Imagine actually trying to do this. God damn. Gotta get him someplace where I can actually move. Can you imagine doing this, doing half this amount of damage? Like, their health bar is a little bit misleading, because it does sort of stack in a way. So you can actually deliver 2 hits and it almost doesn't change at all, and then like the 3rd hit, it'll rocket down to near nothing. Gotta keep rotating to the side. As he abuses that grab, desperately trying to one-shot kill me. This is rough goings. Yay! Can never have too many. Can never have too many. Okay. In case you're wondering, the only thing stopping us from progressing at all is this. This one little bookcase. Which, for some reason, once you get locked up, it just goes away. It just vanishes. What? No, no, no. You want to attempt it... Where? How? Did you fall? How? Wait, no, no, no. This guy had to come from above me. Did he fall off onto the banister and then walk off onto this? What the fuck? Tell you, this game is just... It has a raging boner the day trying to kill poor Freeland. Gotta be kidding me. Fucking crazy. Okay, anyways, I think this is it. This is all you can actually do here for the time being. But I will probably not demonstrate it, but I'll attempt to show it to you. You know what? I am almost tempted... I wonder if I could do that. You guys will probably be super angry. I'm tempted to show it, and I will most definitely die in the process because I'm not practiced at it, and then just do something like lock my health and just walk through the area and go back up. Because the only thing that I'll need to do after this is just get myself killed by Seath anyways. So let's attempt to take care of this guy, and then I will think about doing that. I may not do it, I'm not sure. See, he's demonstrating why sometimes rolling is not the best solution. I really wish that the whole guard break thing was in this game. where you can actually break the guard and riposte them from that. I really like that addition to later games. Okay, so that's done. Give me your shit. Oh, right, he doesn't do that. No, I thought he was supposed to drop something. It wasn't his armor, but I thought he was supposed to... Oh, well. You're supposed to get his armor later in the courtyard area. Okay, so the only thing we actually have to do is this. So we're pretty much done. But I did want to show that off. Wonder if I can do this. Man, I forgot. This makes the whole playthrough a lot more worth it, doesn't it, guys? Oh, yeah. I forgot. We all forgot. Okay. But the whole idea is you're supposed to make this go down using this lever. Then you jump over here and try to land on, like, this. So that whenever you're going down, you can actually roll off into a banister down here, a railway down here. But the thing, it's amazing to me that speedrunners can do this. Because I, like, for a whole day tried and failed over and over and over again to do this. Because I'll explain the numerous things that can happen briefly. You can jump from this and then miss the thing entirely and land in here. In which case you get to start over, which actually that rarely happens. Or you can jump and you can actually land in between this little triangle area right here. And you will fall down and die. Or more commonly, perhaps, you'll jump, land on it, but then your body will start glitching out, and you'll kind of either fall off here or you'll fall off the side. Or sometimes you'll sort of land on it, but you won't land cleanly, and the elevator starts going down so fast that you actually start to fly. And by the time it starts to slow down, then you hit it and you die from fall damage. So if you actually even manage to land on the damn thing, you still have to roll off at the correct time and land in this tiny itty-bitty little section to where you can actually do the skip. So, let's see what happens, guys. That's code for I will die 100%, in which case I'm just gonna run back through. I'll see if I can just run back through. We'll see what happens. It doesn't really matter too much. Contraption doesn't move. Oh yeah, this side. What? What do you mean it doesn't move? Do I have to use this one? Oh, maybe I do. Maybe this is just for the... Oh, yeah, you're right. This to summon it. I got my facts mixed up. Okay, let's see if I can do this. See how much damage you took just from that? I mean, that's a shit ton of damage from her just doing absolutely nothing except for cleanly almost landing on the railing and just kind of gently plopping off to the side. That was half her health. And you have to land on that little section right there. We'll try it again, just because... I really just want to die. That's what it is. Like, see? See? That's what I'm talking about. It amazes me that speedrunners can actually do that reliably. To me, as far as, like, tech goes in speedrunning, other than the thing that I was talking about last... God, it didn't retain it. Other than the thing that I was talking about last time, in regards to move swapping, where you have to, like, menu... Yeah, it was, stuff. Where you have to menu in midair as you're jumping. That's probably the second most difficult thing that I've had to try. Okay. So this time we'll just do a run-through, in theory. If that doesn't work, I'll just lock my health and go through, because that's not really the point of this. Because I've already made it. That's just for show. And we're just gonna die the second that we have to walk in the Seath's bullshit room anyways. Yeah, the elevator is down. Okay. Alright. I can't even remember what I was talking about in regards to shields. Just the idea of what are you punishing, what are you rewarding. A lot of people can't really think that way, I guess. But I did want to make it so that it is a bit more rolly, in the sense of timing is more important. Really? I love his auto-tracking. Yeah, this running past enemies is not a problem in the Souls game. Obviously. Love it. Love everything about it. Just keeps getting better. Actually, that was way, way easier than just doing it the correct way. I'll probably get shot in the back or something. Come on! Who wants to go on an elevator ride? Not you! Dickhead. Okay, let's get up here and get killed. I don't like these mandatory fail states in the game. It rubs me the wrong way. And I'm pretty sure this dude is just going forever. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, the crystal lizard. I forgot about that. There is one thing that we forgot about. the Gravelord crystal lizard. Gravelord lizard. Lord of all zombie lizards, who actually drops normal stuff. Okay. It is kind of neat walking up and suddenly the whole thing's encased in crystal, I guess. But the mandatory dying fail states in these games, I've never really particularly cared for it. This is the only time I ever use, if I even have one. Do I not? Huh, guess I don't. But usually this is the only time I will ever use one of these rings, just because it's guaranteed, you know you're gonna die. I'm like, why not, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and get it over with, I suppose. Too bad I couldn't show you. I would have freaked out if I had actually been able to do that. It would have been amazing if I had actually been able to actually perform that skip. I wouldn't have known what to actually do in that case. What an amazing boss fight. And you can actually, if you use Cheat Engine, you can actually damage him, but he doesn't have a death state, so it doesn't matter how low you reduce his health down to. He just stays that way forever. He's not even actually a boss. The whole health bar thing is kind of a ruse. It sucks. It's stupid. Okay. It's a good thing they thought ahead and set that one dude's health to, like, nothing. It would have been bad if I hit him, and because of the mod, he had too much health or something, so he got angry and just left. So he would have just been trapped here. Alright. So, we're here, I guess. We're definitely not gonna get this done in one fucking thing. What? I don't... Alright, I never locked that. Yeah, we're not doing that. That's too annoying. No, why not? And then I'll just keep that there. Reverse hollow, good. Okay, okay. Alright, mission complete on that one. Okay. But... the core in my little notes I wrote down, the core is addressing what the playstyle is and what the player should be doing right or wrong. One thing I actually did want to do is I do like the idea of altering rolling to some extent. If I could, and this is where our problem is going to come in, that immediately everyone's going to recognize, I would like to make it so that rolling actually does not give you any iframes at all. And in that context, I would also, though, like to make it so that... It's amazing that you get trapped in here with guys. I would also like to make it so that rolling actually covers way more distance in whatever context the game has. Like, enemies... If the enemies are huge and do huge sweeping attacks or something, then obviously the amount of distance that your character needs to cover with a basic roll would have to go up. Whereas if they were more like these dudes, then it wouldn't really matter too much, and the distance wouldn't have to be as extreme. But I would like to make dodging... Like, I really would like to make it more of an established play style that has more drawbacks. Because as I covered, rolling itself is a little bit too easy, and people treat it as it's the skill-based one, but it's really not. It's... As long as you have a basic understanding of enemy attack animations, it is by far the easiest way to play. As long as you have even a modicum of control in terms of your ability to perform rolls or not. I forgot you could open that up here. Whoa. Oh, right. He's out of the balcony! Play that funky music, Snake Boy! So, Funky Cole Medina starts to play. And all the ladies can... It's so... That song, he talks about giving his dog some of the drug he's using to sleep with women. And the dog gets horny and starts trying to have sex with him or something. It's so fucking weird. But I guess Funky Cold Medina is a hell of a drug. Whatever the hell it is. Okay. So, where the hell am I again? Why is there a door here? That's probably more the question. I do remember, like, one day going crazy and trying desperately to find a new path. Oh. They might actually... No, I haven't opened that yet, have I? I have not opened this yet, so I can fuck with them, which should be fun. Okay, anyways, but I would like to try to establish more of different playstyles, but that is difficult. Because in... Where are they? Because in Dark Souls, you control things like whether you're using shields, or whether you're rolling and whatnot. How far you roll, what kind of roll you have. You do that with pretty simple mechanics in terms of, like, it's just things like how much weight do you have, and that's all it is. So you can't do something like, say that rolling covers way more distance but has no iframes, because if you do that on another build like mine and just give that to my build, even if you say, well, that's a light armor-only build or something. Even if you do that, I can still roll. It's still a basic mechanic, so... In that context, you wouldn't want to give me the ability to do everything. Even if you say, below a certain threshold of weight or something, like a light roll is now what you consider to be a normal roll in that context, with the no iframes but increased range, way more mobility. Like, even beyond Bloodborne mobility is what I'm thinking of. Mainly what I would just like to get away from is iframes, because just pressing the invincibility button is not something I care for too much. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm exploring the idea of alternatives. Like, what can you do to change that system? So, you would have to not tie it... It would somehow have to... It would have to be tied somehow with something other than just weight, I think. Because if you just treated it like Dark Souls is now, then you would probably create all sorts of problems. Of figuring out, I can get my weight to the exact number that I will be allowed to have the best, widest range of movement of the game while still having pretty damn good resistances or something. It just depends on how you do it. But I would like to make, I would like to differentiate the play styles a little bit more than they are right now. Huh, not paying attention then. I'm actually kind of impressed with how little health these guys have. There we go. I want to see if I can actually... This R2 is so slow, it has almost no applications, unfortunately. You can use it for these dudes. And it's kind of fun. That's about it. Again, there's nothing wrong with rolling in that sense. But I would... Jeez. I would like to explore... Yeah, what happened to those guys? God, I forgot how fucking fast they run. They're not even going to give me a chance to... Look at that! Little bitch! Just fucking sprinting at me full fucking blast the whole way just so he can attack me. Just because I have limited stamina and he doesn't. Fucking cheater. Oh, now you want to stop, do you? Yeah! Doing his stupid little snake roar. No, come on. I'm gonna have to backstab fish just to get rid of these assholes. Okay. Oh, come on! Really? Come on already. Is it because of the elevation or something? I mean, they're kind of behaving strangely because of it, but still. Oh, another one. God damn. Yeah, I know, you're super angry. We're all angry. Everyone's angry. All the time. We need a commissar is what we need. I cannot believe I'm not getting any backstabs to trigger on these guys, though. And I'm pretty sure it's not because of the shield. Because there is a thing where if you keep the shield up, then it will not trigger. Come on. Now I'm kind of just more interested in actually getting this fucking backstab. You get out of here. Get out of here. Go. Now, okay, there we go. Okay, backstab. There we go. God. Not that I think very highly of backstabs. Backstabs are another thing. Before Dark Souls 2 even came out, I said, you know how you fix backstabs? You get rid of backstabs. A lot of people, no, just, you know, it has a longer wind up, or they can get out of it somehow, or, you know how people are. This applies to so many games, where there's a broken system, or there's a broken ability or something. So rather than just admitting, okay, it doesn't work in theory, we fucked it up entirely, it intrinsically is just broken, and it shouldn't be in the game. Rather than just saying, okay, we'll just get rid of it. Players, for some reason, never want things to be removed. They want to bargain. They want to do things like make it. They do what Dark Souls 2 did, where they're like, well, the backstab is still there, but there's like a thing where you have to hit them a certain way. The PvP people were obsessed with this idea that it is 100% impossible for the PvP to work at all unless there are backstabs. Because that's just how Dark Souls 1 PvP was. That you could basically just keep away from people indefinitely, and if you went on someone, then supposedly the only way of actually punishing them was to do a backstab. Which, to me, was incredibly stupid, but I was never an expert in Dark Souls 1 PvP, one or the other. But never thought too highly of it. And that's where things... Huh. This is the one that you get down in the sewers, I'm pretty sure, before you fight the Gaping Dragon. Maybe it's not, I can't remember. But sometimes it's better to just get rid of things. And Backstabs is a great example. Backstabs never needed to exist in the first place. It's a super cute mechanic for stealth, but Dark Souls is not really a stealth game. And if you're going to have something where you want to punish... Like, here's a general thing. In Dark Souls combat, you can tell that developers don't know how people actually play it. Like, people generally will do things like walk up to an enemy, lock off of them, and then just walk behind them and start attacking. Whereas the Dark Souls developers seem to have this mentality that people play face-to-face. Like if I can get one of these enemies without getting all of them at the same time. Come on. Come on. Someone, anyone. Not all of you, but just someone. There we go. Okay. We got a volunteer. Like, developers do not... Oh my god. Why does everything have to be so backwards and just harmful to my soul this particular day? Okay, here. Alright. No, I don't need two of you now. You already volunteered once and then you backed off. Okay, I need one of you to live. So I can't hit both of you at the same time. Okay, now, here we go. The developers think that people play exclusively like this. Where you're face-to-face, you're trying to gauge distance. They'll do their attack animation, then you see, oh, here's my window of opportunity, I'll attack them. But that's not how people actually play these games. People actually do things like, see, oh, they're going to attack, so I'll just walk behind them. Or I'll start walking around the enemy because I know that the enemy is going to bug out and have absolutely no idea what to do. Like, I can just freak the enemy's AI out, and it just can't do anything to me anymore. And that's how people play these games. They just find a way to exploit it. So you can tell that's how developers are making it, and that's the reason why the enemies behave the way that they do, because they have this expectation that everyone plays face-to-face. Now, regardless of whatever you think about that, if developers intend people to play face-to-face, they should be making the game in such a way that you actually have to play face-to-face, or there's a definite advantage to playing face-to-face. And their solution, sort of, in Dark Souls 3 was to give basically every enemy in the game, or next to every enemy, some ability where if you're trying to go behind them, they have this impossible move where their spine breaks and they reach behind themselves and backhand you or something. Basically just to say, no, 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 don't do that. You're not allowed to do that ever, ever, ever. And the problem, I guess, in 3 was that those same enemies... The problem with that is that there's not really a way... Like, the face-to-face system of Dark Souls is not really developed enough. It was never developed. Like, if you're facing off against a Lothric Knight or a Black Knight or whatever it happens to be... Oh yeah, I don't have the fucking key yet. And I really don't want to have to come back for this. Shit. Let's go up there and turn that shit off first, because I'm getting tired of listening to it. I actually don't mind that too much. It's kind of Resident Evil 4-like to me. It's kind of neat. It gives the whole area a little bit more ambience. But it is fucking annoying after a while, especially for how loud it can be. Okay, did they already come down? Oh yeah, because it was the guys that I killed before. So, okay, I guess we're fine. There's no one here to guard it. Mission complete, I guess. You can hear the ladies crying down there. I always enjoyed things like that in Souls games, where there's just... Those two enemies down there, they won't attack you. I guess there is a benefit for killing them, but they're there because there is just a little bit of story. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter too much that the story is there, but it's appreciated. It's just a little bit more of world building. I always appreciated things like that. And in this case, I don't need the miracles or whatever that they drop, so I'm just going to leave them be. There's no reason to harm them. Although, you kind of get the impression maybe you should, because... Like, do you really want these Pasakas or whatever to live? You do kind of feel bad for him. Of course, Logan's an asshole, so he doesn't say a single thing about the crying monsters over there, huddled in a corner, lamenting the fact that they exist as they do at all. Nah, he just wants to be let out.
Hello again. What a chance meeting this.
Man, you're fucking stupid.
Alas, I'm imprisoned once again. I don't suppose you could stage me a getaway. The archives. Such a storehouse of knowledge. So close.
He's so smart.
The thought offends me so I could simply die. As a student of the arts, do you understand me? Yeah?
It's amazing how superior magic users are. Yet somehow they keep getting locked in cages because of how completely incapable they are. But they're so smart. So smart. Yet somehow they keep getting captured.
Hello again. What a chance meeting this.
Yeah. Anyways. I never liked the fact that the key to unlock this, like, I get why. There's a Firekeeper soul in the back. You don't want to encourage backtracking in an area, especially like this, where it's just so long and linear. It just fucking sucks. So often what I'll do is I will just drop myself that particular key, and then once I lock it, I will change the key back to being something else, and then go pick it up later or whatever, just to get it out of the way then and there, because I guess there is like a challenge in coming back here, but you've already cleared out the area once. It's not like you can't do it or something. Anyways, I've gone too many threads down now. I kind of lost my perspective. But yeah, the Souls games really need to develop their face-to-face combat a little bit more. Because there's not really much of a counter to a lot of things in the game. Like, if there is an enemy that has... Most of the counters to enemies in this game are just watch its attack pattern. Once it does a big long swing, just go in on it, get one hit in, and then reset, if you're playing face-to-face. If you're playing lock-off and you're just walking behind enemies, then it becomes fairly trivial, whether you're backstabbing them or not backstabbing. In a more developed version of the Souls games, again, I'm not saying this is the solution, stop being nitpicky, but in a more developed version of the game, I guess it would be something more like... there would be more of a resource-based thing, or the whole blocking system would be more developed, like I was talking about. Like, Dark Souls 2 did sort of do that component right, in the sense of you can guard break people, whereas this one, the kick is fun to look at and everything. It's fun to kick people. But it's not the same thing as a dedicated guard break, where if something is guarding too much, you can go in on them and punish them for doing it. And as stated before, Dark Souls 3, you can do that with the kick, but the AI in 3 reads your inputs way too heavily. So whenever you do attempt to perform a kick, what the AI will usually do is recognize that you attempted it, and punish you for doing it by immediately attacking you. Which, no bones about it, is just cheating and is not particularly fair. If you're going to have a system like that, where you can guard break something, then you don't want to punish the player for using it. That's another thing, like I was talking about before. You don't want to punish the player for recognizing, oh, this enemy is hiding behind their shield too much. I need to find a way of getting past their shield. So what I'm going to do is break their guard and go in on them. But the developers recognize, well, if they just break their guard, then it's too easy, because... Huh. Wait, is this dedicated? Yeah, this is dedicated. It has to be, because that's the only way that you can get out. So this is something that the guy that made this had to leave in. I think. No! Wait, what? No. This is supposed to be, the Archbishop's shit that you're supposed to get. Because this is a female corpse, and this is the only way of obtaining it. What did I pick up out of that chest? I can't remember. Let me check that real fast. Because I'm super confused now. Okay, so I think I did accidentally pick up the key that unlocks Logan, so I don't even have to do that. Scattered bones. Huh. Let's go down there and try to use that. Because that is very coincidental that that happened. That I was just complaining about the fact that it's in a shitty location. That actually, right there, like a thing like that, where it's kind of partially hidden, to where you're not really expected to be able to find it easily, but it's right kind of nearby, that is actually where it should have been in the first place. So I'm pretty glad that was actually there, if that's what I'm thinking that it is. Although it may have been in the one that I thought was dedicated in the first place. I don't know. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, anyways. But, yeah, Souls games need to work on their face-to-face combat. The way that it works now is not really developed enough. The way that they tried to fix the combat ended up creating more problems in 3, just because of how aggressive they wanted to make everything and how overly demanding it is. And the fact that enemies do not respect the system that you, the player, have to use by just outright cheating and reading your inputs and things like that. Yeah, it's still locked. So apparently I have 3 keys for this fucking place, and none of them actually do anything. That's super weird. But I'm not gonna worry too much about it. So, trying to wrap all this up into a neat package. I would love to see a game in which you can dodge, and that is a playstyle, but you don't have the benefit of just being invincible the whole time that you're doing it. Because that defeats the whole purpose of the gameplay of dodging being about relocating yourself. Like, there's 2 ways of viewing it. Dodging you can either view as being completely response-centric, like I was talking about with the shield, where you have to, like, it's almost a parry timing, where you have to time it just so. Or you can view it as being completely... Oh yeah, that thing over there. How do I get over there? It's been a long time since I've thought about it. Do you have to go through this? Drop down? I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. been a long time since I've even thought about this. But I would like to see dodging be more about movement. You know, displacing yourself from an area. Versus it being about, you know, just timing and, whether you, whether or not you time the thing correctly or not. There we go. Every time. Every time with this. Well, whatever. Let me try not to kill myself trying to get back down. I cannot fucking believe this. Great. Love this area. Duke's Archives is easily my least favorite out of all the final areas. It's just such a shitty... And it's boring to me. I don't really know how else to explain it. It's tedious, it's boring, there's too much backtracking, I just don't particularly care for it. There's too many things like that where, can I get down this way? No, you can't get down that way. You have to die in this situation. This is kind of just shitty. It's not really satisfying to play. Anyway. Any day now. Come on, guys. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let me grab my shit. Actually, I don't even really have to. I am curious how you're supposed to get down from there, though. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's find out. Let's go on an adventure. How about that? Because it seems like you just have to go the other way. Did you go down here? You go over here. This leads down there. Okay. So you're meant to drop down. I guess this is an alternate path to where you can drop down here and really... and go down here the alternate way. Christ. This shit's getting crazy. Well, that's not quite what I wanted. I was mashing A, but the prompt never appeared. But I did it. I crashed the game. Okay, you know what? I'm not fixing 4 different video states. We're just gonna have this be black screen. Episode is now over. Fuck this episode. Christ. Okay, but to wrap up my thoughts on this black screen as Frida falls into oblivion, don't start criticizing the individual solutions that I started mentioning, because I'm just trying to think out loud. But there's different things that the Souls games haven't been doing correctly. One of those is just face-to-face combat's not working particularly well. Shields never had an effective solution because they started punishing the wrong elements of them by just trying to discourage you from even using them in the first place, rather than actually making it so that they're proper reward states for using the shields. Rolling is sort of the same way. The reward state for rolling is not even rolling away from things or repositioning yourself. It's just whether or not you're pressing a button at the right time, which should probably be more along the lines of something that's more in your face and defensive. Like parry timing is a great example. With parrying, you have to press it at the right moment, but you put yourself in risk for doing it in the first place. That's a shield element. That shouldn't be a rolling element. And parrying, that's a whole other discussion, but basically the thing I just want you guys to think about is just thinking about the design objectively, and not whether something could be better or worse necessarily, but how could you make the Souls combat different? It might be worse. It might be better. But I just want to challenge you guys to actually think about it in those terms alone. So, we'll leave it at that. So long, black screen. So long, oblivion. Hello, darkness, my old friend, etc. Thank you guys for joining me for whatever part this was. Hopefully next time it won't be so god-awful. But it probably will be. See you guys next time.